Hi, this is Chris Wong with another workout video. As usual, I start off with band hip thrusts, but during the video part of the hip thrust, I'll talk about something else as well. Um, for half the workout, I was yawning a lot, and I didn't really feel motivated to work out. So it's just a question of whether it's overtraining or just a bad day working out. But I was just being consistent and just continued working out. Overtraining to me is more like working out every single day, hours a day, not sleeping enough, not eating enough food, and accumulation of all stress of working out and lifestyle. That's why, like in real jobs, there's 5 days of work a week, and if working an extra day or two without a break, then that can lead to burnout or symptoms of overtraining. So one way to reduce this is I tried to not work out more than 5 days a week, so that way I keep the consistency. At the same time, take 2 days off. I also find just like going to work, I may not feel like I want to be at work for the first half hour or hour, and then once I'm into it, then my mind's already into work or into the workout itself, and I can continue on. So as usual for all the workouts to reduce overtraining, I kept all the workouts about 1 hour. If it goes over to 1 hour, which doesn't include the stretches, then I just stop working out for the day. So just seeing what I'm doing as I'm narrating this video, I remember like when I was reviewing the footage, I kept yawning, I kept taking water breaks as I was doing hip thrusts, and in my mind all I thought about was I'm very tired and I didn't want to work out. But at the same time, there's a balance between being consistent and overtraining. So in order to get results, you got to be consistent and practice over time. But at the same time, if you overtrain, you may not get results. But it's also a hard topic too, because a lot of overtrained athletes have better results than undertrained, inactive people. So I was doing 3 sets of band hip thrusts, and I think I ended up doing an extra rep than the previous session, although still difficult to get to the 7th rep, but I also found it still difficult to get all the way to the top, but I was still getting a great glute contraction. And then just deciding whether to do dips or to do overhead press. I realized I don't do enough overhead press for a harder workout, and I just did it with 30 pounds to warm up for a set of 8 reps, and then I eventually worked up to 45 pounds for a set of 5 reps. And what I did find is that I did used to do it with more weight, like 50 pounds or maybe even 55 pounds for like 3 to 5 reps, but then because I wasn't consistent with it for long periods of time, like I even didn't do overhead press for over like 3 to 6 months, and I lost the ability to do even 50 pounds for 1 rep. And when I actually attempted it, I can feel a strain in my lower back. Now this is one exercise that's very unusual, and I'm just warming up with a zercher deadlift. Now I use a closer stance than my older videos because of the knee pain or the knee injury I had a couple years ago. So I find that doing wider stance exercises puts more strain on the knee, and it could be because of the way I distribute weight over my feet. So I find like using a shoulder width stance puts a lot less strain on the knees. But I also find that for this exercise it did become more challenging because my range of motion to reach the bar was greater. But it took some practice to get used to it. Now I do find that even this takes a lot of preparation to get into deficits, so that's why I do several sets. So I start with just standing on a flat floor, and then I start standing on like a 2-inch plate, and I'm just doing like 5 reps because I find reps greater than 5, it puts more stress on the crooks of my elbows, so it becomes more painful as I do too many reps on it, or if I put too much weight on it too often. So it's one of the reasons why I don't do this exercise every day. Now, some people do ask me if I'm going to injure my lower back doing this exercise, because it looks like there's a very high chance of injury. And I'm not like a physiotherapist or any type of professional practitioner, but I do think because of my conditioning for over the years that I was able to reach this far, and because I thoroughly warm up, I greatly reduce my chances of lower back injuries. I do find that because the bar is closer to the abs when I pick up the bar, because the bar is up on the elbows instead of resting in my hands. So if I was to reach the bar at that same range of motion but land in my hands, I think that would put more strain on the lower back. And when I actually reach down to get the bar, I actually do feel my hamstrings getting really active or getting that stretch. Like even a couple years ago, I had a slight strain in my hamstring from doing this exercise, not my lower back. And because I find that when I do Valsalva maneuver during this exercise and brace the abs hard, the ab contraction on this exercise, it's a lot harder than any other deadlift I've ever done. So I do find this exercise great for building abs. And I do find the carry over to lifting heavy objects a lot better. Like I think like after having a conversation with like a random person about zercher deadlifts, now even though he didn't like doing zercher deadlifts, he told me the carry over would have been great for wrestling. Because now I think of it, when I see people or when I see a wrestler pick up another wrestler, the range of motion is a lot greater than like a regular deadlift. And flexibility is important in wrestling as well. So here I am working up towards a 5-inch deficit and trying to do 3 reps of 285 pounds. I stopped doing the 1 rep max because it put too much strain on the nervous system, and because of the range of motion and the position in my head, I find 1 rep max, especially if I'm not well conditioned for it, makes me feel very lightheaded.